Hello there, this is Big Benedict. We're playing Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition on Dante Must Die difficulty. This is Vergil's campaign through the game. We're going through it without using items. Hopefully we can do that. And just disregard everything I said in the last video about me hating this game. I love this game. It's a love-hate relationship, bottom line. So, what I wanted to say is that the just cut with this weapon, I wanted to show what it is, and I want to show what it is when you have the concentration gauge at the highest level, because it's flashier and it's going to deal more damage. So I'm going to head back here really quickly and just trigger some enemies here and try not to get hit too much. Okay, so this is also going to be live commentary, some of it. I'm going to have to kill all these guys because if I run, then it's going to drain. So maybe I'll save that puppet for last. Okay, there we go. So now I'm going to have my concentration gauge locked in place, and we're going to head back here because this is a very open and visible arena up here. So you'll want to equip your Yamato, or otherwise it won't work with anything else. And if you watched my Gods Must Die difficulty guide for Vergil's campaign on the definitive edition for Vergil Must Die, I showed the 3 charges, and you had to use those to win. There was just no other way about it. I don't know what they were called, but when you hold the Y button down, he does this. And what we're looking for is to hold it down, but then release it the second it flashes. That's a fail. Fail. That's it. See how quickly he does it? I'll try to do it a couple more times here. You'll know when he does it because he goes into his posture a lot quicker, and he does a different kind of animation. Fail. Fail. There he is. You could definitely tell. That's called the just cut. Okay, so at this point I'm going to be reverting back to post commentary because I had a hell of a time doing this and I died countless times on this next section. So what we have up ahead is an Alto Angelo with, like I think I said before, maybe before I was cut off, we have an Alto Angelo and then about 3 or maybe 4 of the Bianco Angelos. And what happens when you have one of the gold ones here called the Alto Angelos is that they will get together in a group, and once during the fight, maybe more if you stick around, they will throw a it's like a piercing void from Ninja Gaiden 2. I don't know what it is. It's some kind of an energy projectile. And I tried to do my summon swords to send it back and destroy everybody. I tried to use the Yamato to hit it when it was coming at me, and I can never do it. I would be extremely surprised if you couldn't send it back in some manner, but I just got sick of it because I think this is the hardest enemy, hands down. Like this collection of enemies, they block everything. And I also wanted to know, in the beginning of the video, I was talking about how to do the what are they called? I wish it had some name in the skills list, or some. I don't know. I'm getting really mad again because why does it have to be like a network of good old boys who know all the information, and you know, they just keep the information, like it's all in an esoteric like knowledge base, and like people like me who don't know anything about this game try to do this, and I'm a visual person. I would like everything listed in a moves list, like the just cut. That should be listed. Like why is that not notated? So unbelievably, you guys, there's not a checkpoint over here. And I'm just getting really fucking sick of the lack of checkpoints. I understand that these are score attacks. I'm well aware of that. But what's happening is you're making an ancient game. Like, go back to like the dinosaur ages. Is that fucking old? I mean, it is really old. So, basically, I'm starting to hate this game and I don't want to play it. I mean, I truly fucking hate this game. And it's partly because of the Vergil. This character just sucks dick, man. So, over here, you have these lines on the thresholds of the door. And I think before, I was luring all the enemies. And so, this is like like, there's so many fucking enemies here. It's like a legendary Dark Knight mode. But this is Dante Must Die. And I also don't understand how people aren't struggling on this. And they just must not... Are they playing on normal? Maybe they are. Maybe they're playing on Dante Must Die. Maybe they're just fucking pros and they're better than I am. I can probably guarantee that they're better than I am. I hate this game. I hate it. Hate it with a fucking passion. So in this room, you guys, we got a bunch of gladiuses. And you got the... It's just a mess. It's just a big, big mess. And if you die here, boom. Start at the beginning of the level. Doesn't matter how well you've done. And I just don't... I think that they went in the wrong direction with that. I don't care that these are short levels. They're not short when you play on Dante Must Die. It's the bottom line. So, I'm not sure how I got this health drop right here when my style is at level D. You normally don't get style rewards like that. Oh, also I was going to mention, at the beginning of the video I was talking about the just releases. You can do them in the air too, which I did one over here. And I just wanted to commit suicide so many times. Not in real life, but I wanted to go on a smashing spree. Just smash everything and anyone standing in my path. Just smash everything. Okay, next section that's coming up is a gauntlet. And I pretty much am certain that since it is a gauntlet, you're not going to get a checkpoint until the boss fight. And the boss fight, you can pretty much imagine that I went whole hog with Lunar Phase 2 on him, with, you know, some summon swords activity, and then not much else to speak of. I'm going to be doing that on every boss. I don't care at this point. This game was designed for Nero, and on second thought, I'm not going to be doing a no item run for Nero's campaign, because let's face it, it's only partly Nero's campaign. So I don't like playing as Dante, so I may do the women, but I think after this I'm just going to be done with this title, because as much as I love it, I also you know my feelings. I think they're pretty manifest after the last video and the early parts of this video. So it's largely this character. So that combo right there is Y, pause, Y. And if you keep pressing it, he does a more ferocious version. On these Mega Scarecrows, what I like to do is right bumper, plus back, and then hold Y to launch, and then combo them in the air. Even do Y, delay Y. And also, after a combo, hold the Y button in the air. Just to that sweet point where the weapon flashes, and then do that. Which I got, SS for. And did it again. And I was completely thrown off guard over here. I didn't know there was a blitz, and I'm almost dead certain that you don't get a checkpoint anywhere. So these devices right there, hitting them with a weapon doesn't do anything. And I know the reason is because they're designed for Nero to hit them with his buster. So this room here, you'll want to slow down time as much as possible so that you have the upper hand. You'll also want to do this when you fight the blades in the next phase, right before the blitz. So it's just lunar phase on these guys as much as possible. Try to keep the camera off the one that you're not fighting would be my best advice, and then you can do some kick 13s for some extra damage when they're grounded. And then just make sure you get them out of these prisms very quickly, because as you can see, if you rewind that, my lock-on showed that his health was like 1 in the last phase of the circle, and then when he came out of it, he had more life. So when I said that, make sure you're quickly on those icicle prisms, sometimes it seems self-defeating because they're going to regen life no matter what, how quickly you get on them. But I like to think that the sooner you get on them, the better. So these right here, I didn't get hit by them, but I did die a couple of times trying to get through to them. Make sure you slow down time for these guys. And it's actually a really nice mechanic. As much as I say that this game really is old, and it is. I don't even know when this game... When did this game come out? 2006? So it's like a decade old. That's ancient as far as games are concerned, but still, it's fantastic. I'm not saying it's a shitty game. I'm just saying it's fucking difficult with this character. And even as Nero, a lot of the grabs you do, they don't have iframes, so you're stuck with that. Although you can double trigger cancel out, which is nice. So I'm just trying to do a bunch of kick 13s on these guys, to be honest, and I do like how they have to take their time. It's not that they take their time to get up, but the amount of time that it takes for them to get up is a fair amount of time, I think. And then when the blitz comes in, holy hell, is it stressful, because this is the last guy that stands in your way. And what I'm doing here is just jumping. When you jump, you have the ability to do the flush, which is just a passive ability. It deals damage while you jump if you purchase that upgrade. And this is the reason why I said in video 4 to not use the gyro blade. I'm not certain about I mean, you definitely get enough time to do the level 3 charge of the beast straight. However, my mind misgives me about how much you need for that concentration gauge to be successfully kept in place over here, because the guy keeps jumping all around and it's hard to maintain it. It's hard to not take damage, and it's also hard to maintain that gauge, because when you think about it, you're really not even supposed to move the left analog stick when you're playing as Vergil, because you're penalized for doing it. So what you have to do is just use the trick attacks, and I don't know if anybody could even play like that exclusively. It's so different to what anybody's ever done before. So this is the last test right here. You kind of have to get a little lucky that he doesn't do his charge when he's about to explode. So if you can just keep jumping, keep getting out of the way, just let him explode, you should be okay. And then we'll get to the boss fight here, and I'm gonna immediately start using the lunar phase on this guy. And this is a really good tactic. I'm not sure why they have so much shit get thrown at. I mean, he throws the cutlasses at you, he throws the dogs, he throws fire bombs, and it's just not fun. He does give you ample time to do beast uppercuts, though. Although at some point he will do that. He does this air attack, and it drives you away. And then when he goes into the center, that's wow. Can I even talk? He goes into the center, and he will say every time to die, and that means if you don't hit him enough, which is not even that much, just like 2 presses of the Y button, not even in double trigger, he'll siphon. He siphons your health into his. And it's one of the worst things that any boss can ever do. I hate that. I hate the way Elizabeth does that in Ninja Gaiden 2 as well. So I mean, it's a very aggressive strategy on this guy. It's cheap. It's effective though, and it's the only way I know how to deal with these bosses is him. Because as Nero, you could grab the items and like the dogs. I'm calling dogs items, you guys. Jesus, goddamn fucking Christ today, Almighty, man. Just keep getting on this guy. That's all I'll say. It doesn't take too much, and you can use this to damage everybody. And then when he does that, you're really going to have to try to use the air trick for iframes because it's so fast. It really is. And in the beginning of this video, I had turbo off, and then I turned it back on because it feels too stiff without it on and not fun. So I've turned it back on. Take care.